With such a significant and historical welterweight fight on the horizon, I thought we'd go through and rank the welterweight division. Now, first of all, let's be clear on the ranking system before all of you come at me. An S-rated fighter will likely be a legend in that division. You think of Charles Oliveira, a guy like that who has done a lot, has records in the UFC, and has held the belt. A is for a guy who might touch gold and is able to hang in the top 5. You think of Jose Aldo, for example. B is a guy who deserves to be in the top 15, but probably won't crack the top 5. A guy like Dan Hooker, who we love to watch, is a high-level athlete, but just can't break into the upper echelon of each division. C is one of those UFC fighters with a mixed record. A guy like Mike Perry, who I guess isn't in the UFC, but you get the point I'm making. They win some, they lose some, and they deserve to be there. D is for a fighter who made it to the UFC, but isn't quite on that level. Like Van Dramini, the guy that Paddy Pimblett fought. Someone who is a very skilled mixed martial artist, but just doesn't have the caliber to stick in the UFC. And an E is like your CM Punk, a guy who's here, we don't know how, but they are, and we're gonna watch. Now, it's important to keep in mind, this isn't a fighter's potential, this is just where they're at with the evidence they've given us in their career. Now, you're allowed to disagree, but this is how I see things right now in the welterweight division. All right, we start with Michel Pereira. He's a badass, man. Like, he's in some exciting fights. That fight against Diego was one of the strangest fights I've ever seen, but it had some really cool clips. He's been in amazing fights, hits hard, questionable gas tank. I'm going to give him a B. Li Jingliang, the Leech. Now, how he looked against Khamzat, which is probably how most of you have seen, it gives him a bad rap, but he's a talented motherfucker, man. He hits like a truck too, so I think it's pretty safe to give him a B. He's a, solid fighter. Neil Magny. There's a guy who, if you want to know if you're a legit fighter, you got to get through a guy like Neil Magny. He's been in that division for a long time, has about as much experience as you can have. A lot of respect for Neil Magny, but I'm going to have to leave him at a B. Michael Chiesa. Michael just feels like one of those guys who maybe fights with too much emotion at times. It's held him back in his career. I mean, he's a beast, man. His wrestling's great, but again, another B-rated fighter. Shavkat Rakhmonov. If you haven't seen my video on Shavkat, go give that a watch. This guy is still undefeated. Every fight has ended in a finish, including Neil Magny, which is pretty impressive. So definitely go give his reels a watch. He's very skilled, and keep an eye because he's going to be right up there. Vicente Luque. I was surprised to see him lose to Bilal. I thought that was going to be a fight where he finally came out of his shell and showed that he is one of these top 5 guys, but he couldn't get over the line, and maybe we've seen the best he has to give us, but man, what a talent, what a figure for the sport. Really nice guy, works hard, and yeah, man, he's got a lot of crazy finishes. I think every win he's had has been by finish in the UFC, so watch his real crazy fights, man. Oh yeah, he's gonna be a B as well. Jorge Masvidal, George Masvidal, whatever you want to call him. Look, I mean, this guy's a legend of the sport. I mean, he's had a lot of losses, but a lot of them are split decisions against tough guys. Damian Maia types. He's an elite guy. He's made history. He's headlined events. He's sold millions of pay-per-views. So he might even get a title shot. Who knows, man? But B-rated fighter and a fun guy to watch. Sean Brady. Now, this is a guy where I want to see a little bit more tape on him, but he's an elite grappler. He can give a lot of these guys problems. There's some stiff competition in this division, but Sean Brady's a real dark horse, man. And he's undefeated. Like, more people should be excited about this guy. Solid fighter, excited to see what he brings. But for now, I'm going to give him a B. Stephen Thompson. Stephen Thompson is one of the best guys in and around this sport. Super friendly, exciting to watch, legend of the game. I'm going to give him a B. Jeff Neal is another guy that people are pretty high on. He's got great boxing, well-rounded mixed martial artist. I think he got arrested like 8 months ago, so I don't know what the deal is there, but I'm going to give him a B. Bilal. Now, this one's a tricky one. The top 5 in the welterweight division are ridiculously good right now, so I'm going to give him a B. I don't think he cracks it, but man, he's proven a lot of people wrong so far, and he knows how to just outpoint a guy. So yeah, Gilbert Burns. Man, he might be one of my favorite fighters in this division, man. I mean, you saw the fight against Khamzat. Barely anyone touched that guy, and he almost put him out. That shot, this one I'm playing right now, I still don't know how Khamzat got up from that. But yeah, he's an A. Big respect to Durinho, man. Khamzat Chimaev. Boars, man. Look at this. He's going to eat Nate Diaz. And I don't want that to happen, but if Nate Diaz wins, let it be known, I'm getting a 209 tattoo, John Anik style. It's going on my body. But I mean, Khamzat, man, that guy's a freak athlete. Everyone who trains with him can barely believe what they're up against. So yeah, it's tough. But I'm gonna give Khamzat an A for now. Colby Covington, I'm surprised he's not talking more now, because if he stuck his hand up and could generate the right hype, he could be fighting for a title. So yeah, I mean, Colby, if Usman didn't exist, some people think he'd be the pound for pound best in the sport. We'll see, but Colby's very good. Hey, Kamaru Usman, I mean, I think he holds a lot of records in that division now. Just impossible to get anything off against him. So, you know, we'll see how he looks in the rematch, but I mean, he's S, man. Even if he gets knocked out again, it's an S. All right, and the champion, Leon Edwards. Crazy way that he won that fight. I still can't believe it. I was stoked for him, man. He's a good guy. He's been working really hard in the background. Yeah, what more needs to be said? A for Leon, and if he wins this next fight, he could very quickly go to an S. All right, that's it. This was mostly off the cusp, so yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe and let me know if you want to see me do one of these for the other divisions, and yeah, we'll pump it out.